Hello, good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
Morning.
sir.
Good morning. We'll start.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Today is intraocular tumor. Every cell of the body and every organ system having some disease. Either there is infective disorder. Cell may go insult with a lot of things. Either infective, metabolic, or injury, or tumors, or any uncontrolled, unwanted growth of any cell of the body. Clear? The common funda is there. One thing, the organ is highly vascular, having fast metastasis of the tumor. Those who are having no so much blood supply or avascular organs, they may have no tumors. This is the common funda. Let us start with the lead tumor first. Lead tumors. Eyelids having one of the benign form, xanthelasma, slightly raised yellow plaque most commonly found at the inner portion of the upper and lower eyelids, slow growing and produces only a cosmetic defect. Predisposing factor is spontaneous, sometimes associated with diabetes and excess of serum cholesterol. Histologically, cutaneous deposition of lipid material engulfed by histiocytes or foam cells. Treatment is only surgical excision, destruction by chemicals, trichloroacetic acid or photocoagulation. Recurrence is very common. Next one is hemangiomas. Cavernous hemangioma, common in children. Hemangioma followed the distribution of the first and second division of fifth cranial nerve. As you know, there are 12 pair of cranial nerves. Sometimes it is associated with cavernous hemangioma, hemangioma of the choroid, maybe with glaucoma, and hemangioma of leptomeninges. These triad and this combination called Astor-Weber syndrome. Appearance of the hemangioma appears bluish when seen through the skin. On crying or lowering the head, increases in size and swell up. Treatment is small one left alone. If it is large, intralesional steroid injection or superficial radiotherapy. Most next one is very important, that is known as basal cell carcinoma. It also known as rodent ulcer. Rodent means like a mice. Those in indurate कर देते हैं वो inner side those go rodent like a mice, like a mouse. Most common malignant tumor of the eyelids, 20 times more than the squamous cell carcinoma. Lower lid commonly involved, especially near the inner canthus. It starts as a simple small pimple which ulcerates and if scrape removal. Then edges are raised, rolled out as indurated and goes inside, extend under the skin in all directions and penetrates deeply, like mice is making their home in the earth, making a induration, and it make a, that's why it is known as rodent ulcer. Opening is small, but in their side, spreading is more in surroundings. Rodent. It doesn't metastasizes. The tumor arises from the basal cell of the epidermis and consists of islands of neoplastic cell called cell nest. Next one is dermoids. Appearance, solid white masses, most frequently at the limbus, especially lower outer quadrant, consist of skin and sebaceous glands and hair, surgically excision with a lamellar sclerocorneal patches. Dermolipoma. Dermoids, if there is a word is dermoid, just think, it is having the all the appendages of the skin, as skin having sebaceous gland, skin having hair. If there is dermoid, you just think there may be the sebaceous gland and hair. Dermolipoma. Here, yeah, lipodermoids. Dermoids is hard, solid, but dermolipoma is soft, yellow, movable, and subconjunctival masses. Lateral outer canthus near the limbus consist of fibrous tissue and fat with dermoid tissue at their surfaces. In some cases, associated with golden hair syndrome, preauricular tags, vertebral anomalies, and hemifacial hypoplasia. Three type of findings: preocular tags, auricular, कान के पास में टैग होता है, एंड वर्टेब्रल एनोमलीज होगा एंड हेमीफेशियल हाइपोप्लेसिया. अब थ्री एसोसिएशन इज गोल्डन हेयर सिंड्रोम. ट्रीटमेंट इज सर्जिकल एक्सिजन. समटाइम्स इट इज सीन दैट फैट इज कंटिन्यूअस विद दैट of the orbit. Sometimes agar that dermolipoma, that fat is goes to the fat with the orbit. Carcinoma in situ, intraepithelial or epithelioma, also called Bowen syndromes, Bowen diseases, is squamous cell carcinoma. Its appearance is reddish gray fleshy mass with broad base and characterized by deep invasion into the stroma with fixation to the underlying structure. It arises from a papilloma or carcinoma in situ. Distant metastasis may occur. Treatment: radical excision, enucleation, or excision of ocular surface squamous neoplasia. There is ocular surface squamous neoplasia (OSSN). It is conjunctival intraepithelial neoplasia and corneal intraepithelial neoplasia, or squamous cell carcinoma or mucoepidermoids carcinoma. Treatments of basal cell carcinoma. It is surgical excision. Basal cell carcinoma, surgical excision with a 3 mm margin outside the obvious tumor. As basal cell carcinoma, I have told you that is a rodent ulcer. That carcinoma, treatment is surgical. Removal by 3 mm margin outside the obvious tumor. Next one is radiotherapy. There may be cryotherapy, superficial tumors, excision if globe invades the orbits in neglected cases. Next one is squamous cell carcinoma. Second most common malignancy of the eyelids. First most common is basal cell carcinoma, and second most common malignancy of the eyelids is squamous cell carcinoma, usually arising from pre-existing senile keratosis. Appearance as a nodules, ulcerative lesions, or papilloma. Growth rate faster than the rodent ulcer. Squamous cell carcinoma is faster than the rodent ulcer. Metastasis into the regional lymph nodes. Differences is basal cell carcinoma is not metastasis, but squamous cell carcinoma is metastasis into the regional lymph nodes. Diagnosis confirmed by the biopsy. Treatment is radical surgery with post-operative radiotherapy. Meibomian gland carcinoma. Rare tumor arises from meibomian glands, appears as discrete yellow firm nodules mistaken as recurrent chalcedonia. Sometimes diffuse tumor arising from the lid margin mistaken as chronic blepharitis. Widespread metastasis common. Prognosis poor in comparison to basal cell carcinoma and squamous cell carcinoma. Treatment is radical excision with reconstruction of the eyelid. Recurrence after radiotherapy is most common. In that way, we have go through this carcinoma of the lid in lid tumors. Most common lid tumor carcinoma is basal cell carcinoma. Second most common is squamous cell carcinoma. Basal cell carcinoma, no metastasizes, but squamous cell carcinoma, it is metastasizes to the regional lymph nodes. All these about the lid tumors. Next, we have to go to the conjunctival tumor. Just seen here, the conjunctival tumor is classification is non-pigmented tumors and pigmented tumor. On the conjunctiva, if there is pigmented tumors, that is in another lobe is pigmented, another one is non-pigmented. These non-pigmented tumors may be congenital, there may be acquired. In congenital non-pigmented tumor of the conjunctiva is choriostoma is known as dermolymphoma and epibulbar dermoids. In acquired cases, benign and malignant. In benign, this is benign papilloma and benign angioma. In malignant is carcinoma in situ and squamous cell carcinoma. In pigmented tumor is simple nevus and malignant nevus. And next one is precancerous, junctional nevus or precancerous melanosis lentigo maligna. All these the tumors of the conjunctiva. Next one is conjunctiva of the extraocular muscles. The conjunctiva of the extraocular muscles is known as rhabdomyosarcoma. Most common primary malignant tumor of the orbital tumor in children. Most common primary malignant orbital tumor in children is rhabdomyosarcoma. It is the tumor of the extraocular muscles. Occurs about at the age of 7 years. Voluntary muscle of the eye proptosis rapidly. Mass is palpated in supranasal quadrant. Diagnosis confirmed by the biopsy. Cross striation of tumor cells present in the biopsy. Histological types: embryonal, alveolar, and pleomorphic. Pleomorphic of the rhabdomyosarcoma is best prognosis. Alveolar is most malignant. A diagnosis confirmed by the ultrasound and CT scan of that particular orbit. This is about the carcinoma of the extraocular muscles of the eye. Next one is tumor of the lacrimal sac. It is extremely rare. We know that our excretory or in the lacrimal sac is found both nasal side of the eye. The drainage system is started from the puncta, canaliculi, common canaliculi, then lacrimal sac, then nasolacrimal duct. Here, the tumor of the lacrimal sac, it is extremely rare variety. Represent a life-threatening condition, Mostly, it is squamous cell carcinoma, transition cell carcinoma, and adenocarcinoma. Triad of malignancy are a mass below medial papillary ligament, chronic dacryocystitis that irrigate freely. Third one is dacrocystography, so filling defect. Complete excision of the sac followed by irradiation. Irradiation is for what? For metastasis. All these about the tumor of the lacrimal sac, that is mainly very rare. If it present, it is life-threatening conditions. And triad of malignancy is a mass below medial palpebral ligament. It means it is medial side of the nose. Both sides, medial side. Mass below medial palpebral ligament. And next is chronic dacryocystitis that irrigates freely. Third one is dacrocystography, so filling defect. Complete excision of the sac by irradiation. Next, that is very, very important. I think we have focused on that more is the uveal tissues tumor. This uveal tissues tumor is very, very important. As we know, uveal tissue include iris, ciliary body, and choroid. We go through the part-wise of the uveal tissue tumors like iris, ciliary body, and choroid. In iris, there is iris nevus. There may be malignant melanoma of the iris. In ciliary body tumors, there is medulloepithelioma or dactyoma and malignant melanoma. Third is choroidal tumors. It may be benign melanoma like nevus, maybe malignant melanoma or metastasis carcinoma and choroidopharyngioma. In such a way, iris having iris nevus and malignant melanoma, ciliary body having medulloepithelioma and malignant melanoma, and choroid having benign melanoma like nevus or malignant melanoma, and C is metastatic carcinoma. In our eye, most common metastasis goes to veal tissue because it is highly vascular. Very, very important this thing is. Choroidal tumor is very, very important. In such a way, you go through the choroidal tumors. That is malignant melanoma of choroid. Most common primary intraocular tumors in adults. Extremely rare in black. Most malignant tumors, melanoma, develop from pre-existing benign melanomas. They originate most frequently in the outer layer of the choroid, spread like a carpet between sclera and the Bruch's membrane, may quiescent for many years and suddenly begin to grow. The Bruch's membrane perforate and the growth appears as mushroom or button color button shaped mass. Histologically classification of malignant melanoma of the choroid. I have told you malignant melanoma of the choroid is most common primary intraocular tumor in adults, extremely rare in black. Most malignant tumor melanomas develop from pre-existing benign melanomas. They originate most frequently in the outer layer of the choroid, spread like a carpet between sclera and Bruch's membrane, may quiescent for many years and suddenly begin to grow. The Bruch's membrane perforates and the growth appears as mushroom or color button shaped mass that is seen through the fundoscopy. There are some classification. The histological classification of malignant melanoma of the choroid, that is by calendars. 6 types according to the cell type. If malignant melanoma of spindle A cell type, that is having the first best prognosis of that. Spindle B cell type is second best prognosis, and fascicular type, epithelioid type, that is most worst prognosis, and mixed is most common. Necrotic, severe inflammatory reactions, mistaken as endophthalmitis or uveitis. In nutshell, this malignant melanoma of the choroid is classified as spindle A cell type, spindle B cell type, fascicular type, epithelioid, and mixed and necrotic. All these 6 varieties found according to the histologically cell type. Spindle A cell type, spindle B cell type, fascicular type, epithelioid type, mixed and necrotic. Among all these, epithelioid having worst prognosis, mixed one is most common, and a spindle A cell is first best prognosis, and a spindle B is second best prognosis. All these are about the malignant melanoma of choroid. Next one is metastatic carcinoma of the choroid. See here, probably the metastatic carcinoma of the choroid is the most common type of intraocular malignancy. Primary site that metastasis to the choroid is bronchogenic carcinoma in the male and breast carcinoma in the female. Some are kidney carcinoma, testis, GI tract, extremely rare of the prostatic. Clear. In such, the metastatic carcinoma means the carcinoma of the primary site is another. Our choroid is, due to its highly vascular nature, metastasizes and metastatic carcinoma of the choroid. Probably the metastatic carcinoma of the choroid is the most common type of intraocular malignancy. The primary site of that carcinoma of choroid is bronchogenic carcinoma in male, breast carcinoma in female, and some are the kidney carcinoma, testicular carcinoma, GI tract carcinoma. Common occurrence is in the posterior pole of the retina with early loss of vision. Bilateral metastasis is most common. Enucleation contraindicated. In this case, enucleation is contraindicated unless painful and blind eye. Next one is optic nerve tumor. optic nerve tumor. It is of two types. Ectodermal tumor of the nerve is gliomas, and mesodermal tumor of the optic nerve sheath is meningioma. I want to say one thing. In the central nervous system, as we know, all the animals having only four types of tissue: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and nervous tissue. In such a way, we go through the common origin. Excitable tissues are only muscular and nervous cell. In nervous tissue, two types of cells are found. One is neurons, and next one is microglia. Microglia is supporting cell. Running up. Okay, optic nerve tumors. In such a way, the gliomas or microglia, this is supporting cell to the neurons. Neurons having no cell division, so there is no tumor of the neurons, but our supporting cell microglia or glia having dividing cell, so there is malignancy of the dividing cell, supporting cell, gliomas. Like that here in optic nerve tumor, our nerve cell not dividing, but our supporting cell dividing. Ectodermal tumor of the nerve, that is gliomas, and mesodermal tumor of the optic nerve sheath is meningioma. Most prevalent in children, that is ectodermal tumor, glioma, 4 to 8 years of the age. It is unilateral proptosis with visual impairment. Proptosis slow growing and axial. Marcus gun pupil and optic atrophy. 50% cases associated with neurofibromatosis. These view X-ray of the orbit in 90% uniform enlargement of the optic nerve. Ultrasonography scan and CT scan shows fusiform or irregular enlargement of the optic nerve. Intracranial excision demonstrated by CT scan. Treatment: local resection of tumor with preservation of the globe by lateral or vitotomy or radiation, or prognosis is excellent. But next one is mesodermal tumor of the optic nerve sheath, that is meningioma. Invasive tumor, predominantly in women of middle age. The ocular picture or feature depends on primary site of involvement by the tumor. That is tuberculin silla meningioma, is spheroidal ridge meningioma, and optic nerve sheath meningioma. This optic nerve sheath meningioma is of three types. Compresses the chiasma or optic nerve, finding junctional scotoma. Junctional scotoma means ipsilateral central scotoma and contralateral upper temporal field defect. Fullness B was fullness of temporal fossa, growing slowly proptosis, triad of visual impairment, long standing, and a pale swollen optic disc, and opticociliary shunt vessel. It is pathognomics of optic nerve sheath meningioma. ABC, all three types. Investigation is plain X-ray, CT scan. Treatment is excision of the tumor, bilateral or vitotomy. Prognosis extremely poor for vision, but prognosis for life is good. Most important, next one is uveal tissues carcinoma. I have go through that. Next one is one of the most common and commonly asked is the malignancy of outer nuclear layer of the retina, that is retinoblastoma. It is the malignant intraocular tumor originating in the outer nuclear layer of the retina and strongly resembles fetal retina. Etiology of retinoblastoma. It is very, very important. Incidence in 1 in 20,000 live birth. Laterally, 25-30% of cases are bilateral. Average age of the diagnosis is 18th month of the baby, and vast majority of cases appears before the age of 3. It is exceptionally after the age of 7. Inheritance, a positive family history in 6% cases, but 94% cases is sporadic. Chromosomal abnormalities, 5% cases is associated with deletion of the long arm of chromosome 13 and with trisomy 21. Other facts, orbital sarcoma may occur in the irradiated field in children with enucleated retinoblastoma. Osteogenic sarcoma of femur and axial bones are common in patients who have survived for bilateral retinoblastoma. A rare finding, the bilateral retinoblastoma with pinealoblastoma, that is called trilateral retinoblastoma. Clinical feature of the retinoblastoma is leukocoria, means amaurotic cat's eye reflex, squinting of the eye, secondary glaucoma, proptosis, and endophthalmitis or anterior uveitis. All these are the clinical presentation of the retinoblastoma. In most common age of, mostly it is diagnosed before the 18th month of the baby. Sign of the retinoblastoma is, it is unilateral dilated pupil, wide pupillary reflex, strabismus, and intraocular tension is higher. There may be heterochromia of the iris. Stages of retinoblastoma. Stage 1 is the quiescent stage, 6 to 12 months. Next one is glaucomatous stage. Next is stage of extraocular extensions, and last stage of metastasis. Spread of retinoblastoma is spread into the intraocular tissues, into the extraocular tissues. Extension into the central nervous system via optic nerve, and extension into orbit as a fungating mass. Lymphatic spread along the orbital lymphatics into the pre-auricular and cervical lymph nodes, spread by blood stream. Choroidal invasion is the most route of escape. Most common site are the bones and liver. Lung is the least common site. Diagnosis by the indirect ophthalmoscope. There is gliomas. Here it is retinoblastoma is of two types, endophytic types and exophytic types. And next one is plain type. Endophytic means kya? These project from the retina into the vitreous cavity, white or pearly pink colored mass with sharply demarcated margin. Presence of calcium deposit in most of the cases gives the appearance of cottage cheese. Multiple shading of the tumor cells may be seen in vitreous cavity. In exophytic types, the growth is subretinal spaces gives rise to total exudative retinal detachment. Endophytic is come inside the vitreous and exophytic is causing the exudative retinal detachment. Plain type, it is difficult to visualize the tumor. Special investigation for the tumor. Common funda is any part of our body, if having the tumor, there may be calcification that is casted by the X-ray of the orbit. There may be ultrasonography, CT scan of the orbit and the brain, aqueous humor paracentesis, carcinoembryonic antigen, enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay, lumbar puncture, fine needle aspiration cytology, fluorescein angiography. All these are investigation related to the retinoblastoma. Histological type of the retinoblastoma. In this way, gross examination is chalky white friable tumor with dense foci of calcification. Microscopic retinoblastoma consists of small, round, densely packed cells with large basophilic nuclei. It may be well differentiated or poorly differentiated. Well differentiated retinoblastoma is characterized by presence of rosette and florets. This is commonly asked MCQ. Flexor intestinal rosettes, Homer right rosettes, pseudo rosette and florets. Histology of metastatic lesions outside the retina shows a change of character of the cell. These resembles sarcomatous cells and rosettes are in rarely in histologically. If it is primary to the eye, then the picture is all these flexor intestinal, Homer right, pseudo rosette and florets. But it is metastasized to the other organ, there resembles sarcomatous cells. Treatment of the retinoblastoma. Enucleation, exenteration, radiotherapy, photocoagulation, cryotherapy, chemotherapy, and combination of therapy. Genetic counseling is needed in such cases. Normal parents with one affected child is in sporadic cases. The chance of transfer to next sibling is 1.3 to 6%. When an affected person survives to maturity, the procreates chance of having retinoblastoma in offspring is about 25 to 30 in unilateral cases. Prognosis: the overall mortality from retinoblastoma are between 15 to 20%. Mortality rate is higher with optic nerve involvement. Large size tumor, poorly differentiated tumor, and when there is choroidal invasion. Follow-up extremely important in cases of treated retinoblastoma. In general, rule is every 4 months until 3 years of the age,